Assassin's Creed 1 was the first game in the series. Where should we put this on the tier list? I'll start with
No.
Nightmare Dwell.
I feel like it's C tier.
C tier? Okay, that's fine. Because I'm thinking this game, it's the first in the series, so they're starting out with what they want to do, but like they've got a good atmosphere. Rogue Spartan.
Definitely F tier because there's no Ezio, and like I just don't like playing any games without Ezio.
That's valid. We'll put it down in F tier just to start. Okay, and then Rogue Spartan. You might like this game. Assassin's Creed 2.
Um, I guess S tier. It's pretty good, but it doesn't have multiplayer, so like definitely A tier for me.
Okay, I'll put it in A tier. And Nightmare Dwell.
I
Thoughts?
feel like A tier is where it should be.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We're pretty much even on that one. All right, Brotherhood.
In front of 2.
Bro,
Okay,
S tier
so S tier.
multiplayer.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Multiplayer really launches that game all the way to the top for me too. And Ezio had a really good character arc in that one.
Oh yeah.
But Revelations is where I feel like the Ezio trilogy fell off. Like they could have kept going and have like a good series, but for me it's in D tier. Rogue Spartan.
It definitely belongs in D tier. It's got old Ezio, it's got old Altair, and they're just all crusty, and I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, and the tower defense system kind of was terrible in that game. Like that was just an unnecessary addition. But Nightmare Dwell, what do you think?
Given the fact that combat had evolved so much, the story was wrapping up for our protagonist, and the fact that we got to travel the world and meet other creeds, I feel like it really spoke more about the story itself and the gameplay. So yes, while Ezio is getting older, he's also been doing this for maybe 50 years at this point in the game. So I definitely think that despite all the negatives, it's at least deserving of a C tier.
Okay, we can put it up.
You know,
Rogue Spartan response.
Nightmare Dwell, I think you make some valid points. I also remember this having a really solid multiplayer component, and the smoke bombs were lit. So I think it belongs in B.
You know what? I second that.
So we started off at D tier, put that in B tier. All right. We'll come back to it if we need to. Assassin's Creed 3.
I definitely feel like it's an S tier game because it also speaks further about the different creeds and how they operated at the time.
Always fighting for the little man. Yep.
Also, the U.S. USA.
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 And the tomahawk was pretty cool too. I'll give it S tier for right now. All right, Black Flag. We'll give the table to Nightmare Dwell. What do you think?
I feel like absolute S.
Oh.
Because the combat system in that game has never been more fluent. And I feel like dual wielding added so much more to the way we approach combat, and the fact that we can hold 4 pistols lets you cheat a couple fights here and there.
I absolutely agree.
But then there's also the sailing combat that evolved tremendously from 3. And given that Connor mentioned that his grandfather was a sailor, I feel like it really explores Edward Kenway as a pirate of the Caribbean before, the English took over.
That's true. It really expands upon the lore and builds on the previous games. Rogue Spartan, thoughts on Black Flag?
It's solid S tier, you know what? But I really got to knock it down a peg for those whale battles at the end of the game. You're going to the 4 corners of the map. You're on the edge of the flat Earth. It is too difficult, and they needed to make it easier, and they didn't. B tier.
B tier, holy. For the whale battles, that's just not right. Hard disagree.
I have to second that. While I will agree that some of the ship battles were challenging, like the ghost ships,
That's actually what I meant. It was the ghost ships, not the
I haven't
whales.
been able to beat all of them. I did beat one, but the other ones I just kind of forgot about because one was hell enough.
So we're gonna knock it down a tier just for the boss battles at the end of the game.
No, I still think it's an S tier.
I think B tier. It made me real mad.
We'll settle on A tier and come back to it if we need to. All right,
Alright.
Assassin's Creed Rogue.
S tier.
C.
All right, Rogue Spartan. Why is it going S tier? Why
Oh
is it
yeah,
go-
yeah, it's fantastic.
Why is it going to S tier?
Okay, you have to think about the dynamics of playing as assassins up until this point, and then you finally, barring the one Templar you play as of being Connor's father, spoiler alert, the fact that you play as a Templar for the entire game and get to explore the religious dogma of the Templar and their order is absolutely fascinating.
They're a
and
bunch of
so-
communists.
I just didn't really like the game. It wasn't worth $60.
Oh, definitely.
When it
not.
came
I thought it
out.
was 40.
They had to knock it down to 40. I'm
definitely.
pretty sure
Yeah,
because the game was pretty short.
It felt like a DLC for AC4.
It sounds like you guys are ragging on this game. So does it not belong in S tier?
Oh shoot.
C tier.
Let's do C tier. All right, we can put it in C tier.
Come on.
Liberation. We'll skip that one.
I don't remember
Unity. All right.
that one.
First game with co-op multiplayer. I say S tier just to start with for that fact alone.
Honestly,
Rogue Spartan.
being able to play as characters without faces just really steps it up a level. I think it belongs in S tier.
Nightmare
Once again, for me, when the game first came out, it had a lot of bugs,
Their features.
buggy features at best, and I just didn't really understand the story too much. That's where I feel like the game itself kind of lost the plot.
That's true.
That's fair.
Moving on, we have Syndicate.
I didn't play too much of it.
Yeah, I didn't play it very much at all.
Okay, I'll put it in D tier since there's nothing in D tier. Okay. Assassin's Creed Origins who's played that one?
I haven't.
I have not either.
Okay. I'll leave it in B tier, but it's an RPG that really took things in a different direction, a lot like Black Flag did.
I will
Odyssey,
mention,
or go ahead, Nightmare
I
Dwell.
will mention about Origins that it makes good on the callbacks from Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, where under the family's estate, you see the statues of all the famous assassins,
Mm-hmm.
and Origins pays homage to that respectfully.
That's cool. So it builds on the lore the same way that Assassin's Creed 3 does. So maybe A tier.
Only for that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like it. And Odyssey. Did anybody play Odyssey?
I refused